All right, let's get to it. Here we are. We are at the practice test, so let's go. Label each as a positive relationship, negative relationship, or no relationship. The amount of caffeine you have and the amount of energy you have. So you ask yourself, as one thing goes up, what has to happen to the other? So as the amount of caffeine you have go up, what happened to your energy? It goes up. Therefore, this is a positive correlation or association. The amount of miles and the car travels, and the amount of gas, the amount of miles and car travels, and the amount of gas in the tank. So the more miles you travel, the less gas in the tank. So this is negative. All right, the amount of DVD someone has and the amount of toothpaste they have, that has no, means nothing. All right, keep going. Quick reminder, when you are doing putting this in your calculator, remember we always hit stat and then we press edit. I'm doing this right now. We put it in our list 1, list 2. After we do that, we hit stat and we go over to calculate, hit 4 and press enter, and we get our wonderful equation. Don't forget about that because you'll need it tomorrow. All right, so it says answer the questions using the two-way table. So in order for us to use the two-way table, we have to fill in the missing pieces. All right, so I know going across right here from 35 to 59, there's a total of 59 people. So I'll do 59 minus 35, and that will give me 24. I know 24 goes here. So if I look, I don't think y'all can see this. Maybe I'll delete it later. So if I go down vertically, like so, I know there's a total of 24. So I do 6 minus 24, and that gives me 18. So I know there's 18 people there. I'll just delete that. And then if there's 25 and 18 here, 25 plus 18 is going to give me 43 going across. And I know this is 43 and 59 going down. So I say 59 minus 43, and that gives me 16. If this is 16, then you have to be 10. All right, let's erase these arrows. Okay, so that makes sense. 25 plus 10 is 35, 18 plus 6 is 24, 43 plus 16 is 59. How many people have MP3 players? MP3 players, how many people? We're looking down, y'all. MP3, looking down, that's 35. 35 people have MP3 players. How many people have cell phones? Cell phones is going across. 43 people have cell phones. All right. Please don't get that messed up. What percent of people have cell phones? So we're talking about out of all the people, what percent have cell phones? So out of all the people, this is where all the people are. So 43 out of 59 have cell phone times 100. 43 divided by 59 times 100. It's going to give me, we're going to round to the nearest whole percent, 73%. What percent of people have MP3 players? MP3. What percent of people have MP3 players? So MP3, and this is MP3 is right here. But what percent of people? This is 35 out of the 59. 35 divided by 59 times 100 is 59%. Next one. How many people have cell phones and an MP3 player? People have cell phones and an MP3 player. Cell phones. Cell phone and MP3 players. Cell phone and MP3 meet right here. 25. How many people do not have a cell phone? How many people no cell phone? No cell phone. It's all in this column. There's a total of 16 of those people. All right, get rid of these. Scroll down. What percent of people do not have an MP3 player and do not have a cell phone? What percent of people do not have an MP3 player and do not have a cell phone? All right, so no MP3, which is this column right here. Y'all can't see it because it's blocked off. Sorry. No MP3 and no cell phone. Okay, what percent of people do not have an MP3 player and do not have a cell phone? So there are 6 people out of 59 people that don't have a MP3 or a cell phone. 6 divided by 59 times 100 is going to give us 10%. All right, keep it moving. What's the next one? What percent of people do not have a cell phone? Well, we just answered how many people don't have a cell phone. There are, how many people do not have a cell phone? There are 16 people out of 59 people times 100. 16 out of 59 times 100 is 27%. And then how many people have a cell phone but no MP3? Cell phone, you got a cell phone. But cell phone right here is just in this column. No MP3 is in this column, 18. All right, please remember percents, relative frequency. Talks about percents. Not every problem is going to ask you about a percent. All right, let's keep it moving. Let's get to the scatter plot stuff. What kind of association is this? So this is rising to the left, so I know it's negative. Describe the association between study times and test scores. I'm going to tell you to watch video because on this problem. Simply because you need to make sure, if you're looking at a table to find out what the association is, they need to be in order from least to greatest. So you have your X and you have your Y, which your X is your study time and your Y is your grade. So I get 0 is 56. Look at 1 is 76. If I look at 2 is 72. When I look at 3 is 87. And we'll look at 4 is 92. Okay, so this is a scatter plot. It does not go up all the time, but the trend is that as the X's increases, the Y increases. This is the only thing that goes down. No, it's not an outlier. It's just one of the times where you study time, your grade wasn't as great as it could be. Y'all see that happen all the time. So as X increases, typically Y increases. But it must be in order from least to greatest, y'all. You cannot make this without it. So this is going to be a positive association. If you don't put it in order, you can be like, oh, it's 56. You go up, up, down, down. And some of y'all be like, well, that's no correlation. You went up, up, down, down. It like cancels itself out. That's not the truth. You went up, down, up, up. There's more of a positive correlation. Please, 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 please. Please remember it has to be in order from least to greatest. Hint, hint. It's going to be on your test tomorrow. What kind of association is this? This looks like, a semicircle. It's nonlinear. Number 4, which equation best models the data? All right, so here we're talking about y is equal to mx plus b. Okay, so when we're looking at that, we can see that it has a positive slope. So if it's a positive slope, all of these are positive. And then we can see that the y-intercept is approximately 0. So that should, well, it actually is 0. It's not approximately, it is 0. So anything that doesn't have 0 added onto it is wrong. I mean, anything that has something added onto it is wrong, okay? And then let's look at the slope. Rise, if I look at this line, up 2 over 2. That's 2 over 2, which is 1. So this has to be the answer, A. All right, what's the closest to the y-intercept of the linear model? The closest, the y-intercept is right here. It is between, looks like 8 and 9. It looks like it's closer to 8. This question kind of sucks, but it's closer to 8 than it is to 9, so we're going to say 8. Which best represents a line of best fit? We know with the line of best fit, the data needs to be evenly distributed. It needs to be cut through half of the data, same amount of dots, approximately the same amount of dots above and below. So we know you're out, you know you're out. You don't even represent the data. We know you're out. C has to be the math competent answer. I'm not going to say common sense. We have math competence. All right, number 7, the table represents the responses of 100 students who were asked if they were on the honor roll and in the beta club. What percent of students on the honor roll are in the beta club? All right, what percent of students on the honor roll, so we're talking about on the roll, on the honor roll, are in the beta club, So there's 28 students in the beta club on the honor roll out of, this is a total of 40. 28 times over 40 times 100, 28 divided by 40 is 70%. The table below, I guess I should erase, well, I should do this a little bit better so people that are looking at it can see. All right, the table represents the responses of 50 students who were asked if they were on the baseball and track teams. What percent of people surveyed are not on either? Percent of people surveyed are not on either. So this, we're talking about not on either, but it's out of everybody surveyed. So 8 plus 24, those are not on either, is going to give you 32, but that's out of, that's 32 plus 18, that's 50 times 100. 32 divided by 50 times 100, it's going to give me 64%. Mary sent a survey to 50 people to see how many people had blonde hair and blue eyes. The results are in the table. What percent of people surveyed had blonde hair? What percent of people, that's everybody, everyone surveyed had blonde hair? Well, there is a total of 25 people with blonde hair, and there's 25 people that don't have blonde hair. So clearly it has to be 25 out of 50, which is 50%. All right, number 10, well, you know, it's all over. What is the equation of the line which models the scatter plot? So let's look at our y-intercept. Our y-intercept is 3. So anything that doesn't have plus 3 or 3 as our y-intercept is wrong. You don't have a y-intercept of 3. You do. That's a y-intercept of 3, that's a y-intercept of 3, and that's a y-intercept of 3. Remember, the y-intercept doesn't have the variable next to it. Now let's talk about this slope. Now this slope is rising to the right. Okay, you're a negative slope, you're wrong. You're a negative slope, you're wrong. So you have to be the correct answer, B. What is the slope of the line? The slope of this line will have to be negative. It's rising to the right, to the left, So it has to be negative. So you're out and you're out. And let's look. Down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, negative 1 over 1 has to be C. Predict the test score of a student who studies in half an hour. Now, just I'm gonna put watch here because a lot of people mess up on this problem. So a half hour, these are going by 1 hour. This is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. So half an hour is right here. Half an hour is right here. So we go up, go up, go up, go up. That is a little bit less than 60. Okay, so the only answer that makes sense would be 58. All right, keep it going. We're in there for 13 and a half minutes. Number 13, the table shows the average number of hours people of different ages sleep each night. What kind of association is shown in the table? Are they in order numerically from least to greatest? Yep, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So we don't have to worry about that. So this is minus 1, plus 0, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1 is clearly a negative association. As X goes up, typically Y goes down. Typically the trend. Predict the height of a 4-year-old based on the scatter plot. Now we have to draw our line of best fit, which, you know, at times can be a little off, a little misleading, depends on how we draw our line. But if we kind of cut this data in half, my line's a little crooked, so I'm going to draw this again because it's not straight. You know, I advise you to use a ruler if you need to. Well, you can't use a ruler on the computer. Or you can get a ruler. Yeah. So it says predict the height of a 4-year-old based on the scatter plot. So a 4-year-old is right here. I'll follow you all the way up. 4-year-old based on the scatter plot. You are a little bit above 40 inches. So you have to be 42. Only answer that makes sense. Scatter plot shows the growth of Janie's plant in inches. How tall was the plant when it was planted in Janie's garden? Well, if it's talking about this, we're talking about the y-intercept. And it had to be 3 inches. Yep, 3 inches. All right, number 16. What percent of students who have a car also own a cell phone? So you have a car. Also that have a car. So you have a car and you own a cell phone. There's a total of 20 people here. So you have a car and you own a cell phone. Yeah, have a car and own a cell phone. Out of 20 times 100, 12 divided by 20 times 100 gives us 60%. Table shows the number of times it rained during the year. What kind of association is shown in the table? All right, are we in least to greatest? Yep, 1970, 98, 98. Yep. So we are subtracting, then we're adding, then we're subtracting, and then we're adding. Well, clearly there is a pattern, but too bad it's not something that as x increases, you go up and down, up and down. That means no association. Write the equation of the line of best fit for the data. All right, so let's look at our y-intercept. Our y-intercept is between 20 and 30. So that's going to be our best bet of weeding out answers. So this y-intercept is 0. This y-intercept is 30. This y-intercept is 25, and this y-intercept is 25. All right, so let's look at our rise of a run. So if this is 25, if we're saying this is 25, then the next place right here is 30. So I'm going up 5 over 1, right? So M is 5 over 1, so it has to be B. Okay, Ralphie works in a small drugstore. As he removed cans to buy spray from a box, he stacked the cans on a shelf. During the process, he sometimes stopped to help customers find items. How much? Well, let's say how much. Which of the following graphs best represents Ralphie as he unpacks the box of bug spray? All right. So if this is the weight of the box and he's unpacking it, clearly, the weight of the box can't start at 0. That's wrong. Weight of the box cannot start there. That can't start there. No. Okay. The weight of the box we just said cannot start at 0, y'all, because it's the way he's unpacking the box. No. All right. So it's either B or C. Well, it says that he stopped to help customers. So if he's stopping to help customers and he's putting cans on the shelf, he's unloading, this means that he never stopped. That's wrong. It has to be C. He's unloading, stop to help customers. Unloading, stop to help customers. All right, it has to be C. At first, a hiker climbed a brisk pace. He took a break, climbed at a slower pace, then took a longer break. The last part of the climb was his slowest. Which of the graphs illustrate the relationship? Well, if he's taking a break over time has to keep going, but the height doesn't. It has to, stay the same. So A is automatically out. At first, a hiker climbed at a brisk pace. Well, he's at the top of the mountain right here, and he's coming down. He's not climbing. He's coming down the mountain. That's wrong. He's coming down the mountain when she comes. All right. So B, how could it be unfair? You don't have to watch the video. Which graph illustrates the relationship? He took a break. All right, so he climbed at a brisk pace. So that means that it'll be really steep. Okay, this is not that steep. Then he took a break. So this shows a break. All right, this shows a break. This shows a break, and climbed at a slower pace, then took a longer break. All right, so this says this break is not long, even if you didn't understand like the slower pace, you know, this break is not long. So this is gone, and the answer has to be B. Long break. This is shows the briskness. Okay. All right. The last problem, last 20 minutes, and y'all be like, oh, 20 minutes of my life. It's about to be 25 minutes. All right, label when, well, not really, because y'all don't need the whole video. Label when the speed is increasing, constant, and decreasing. So the speed is increasing, constant, increasing, and the speed is decreasing. What is the maximum speed? At what second does the car reaches its maximum speed? All right, so the maximum speed is right here. That second is 30. All right, the next one says, how many seconds does it take the car to how many seconds does it take the car to return to rest? All right, so it's at rest here. It keeps going and going and going and going and going and going and going, and it finally comes back to rest here. Remember, that's rest. So it took 50 seconds. During what 10-second interval is the speed? Gotta pause this. Miss Henderson is calling me. All right, I'm back. And during what 10-second interval is the speed increasing the most, and by how much? All right, so if it's increasing the most, the line is going to be steeper. It is clear that this line, this part of the line right here, is steepest. It's the steepest line. So we find the slope. So we go up 15 over 10. So it's going to be 15 over 10, which is going to be I might put 3 halves. Or we can say 1.5. 3 over 2, which is equal to 1.5. 1.5 miles per second. How many seconds is the speed constant? All right, constant speed means that it will not be increasing or decreasing. And we already said this is constant. So from here to here is 10 seconds, 10 to 20. And then how long did it take the car to come back to rest? All right, so we are talking about how long. Is that the same question? Second, does it take the car to return to rest? How long did it take the car to come back to rest? I think it's the same question. Yeah, I don't think you can interpret it like it took. I guess it depends on how that. It's a bad worded. It's a badly worded question, Mr. O'Neill. Because I don't know if I was meaning, because I even made this question. I think I put it twice. I think I was meaning, from the highest point. How long did it take you to come back to the rest? It took 20 seconds, but I don't say that. So, you can't really imply that. So I'm going to say from the highest point, 20 seconds. All right, people, it's been real. It's been 25. I said 25. Look at you. I got you out of here before it was time for you to go. It's been another Beast Mode Productions. It is what it is. Hopefully you do well on this test. Great. Wonderful. It is done. We're out. Finish.